Somebody came in my Instagram DMs and they asked me, if you could go back in time, would you change anything, right? Is there anything you regret? Do you regret working as hard? Because they said they're dealing with a similar situation right now where they're feeling the pressure of the friends for like missing certain events. And I can't speak for that person or anybody else in the world, but me personally, no, I wouldn't change anything. Prime example, today. Today is the 4th of July, right? I'm not sure when I release this video, but today's exact date is July 4th, 2021. And everybody in the world is partying right now, right? I hear it downstairs as I'm currently making this video. I see it on my Instagram stories. I'm here, working. And before I get further in the video, I want you guys to know that I'm not a believer in hustle culture, right? Like every single person needs to work every single second of every single minute of every day. Like I don't believe in that. So before, some of you guys start making reaction videos to this saying that, I'm not a believer in that. What I am a believer in is if your family is struggling to pay rent, you should not be partying. That is what I believe in. And that is what I lived by since I was in high school. People see where I am and wonder how I got here, right? I have one of the biggest YouTube channels in my industry. I have one of the biggest programs in my industry. I'm a good day trader. I'm financially literate. I have other businesses that run without me. And the answer is I worked, right? And I'm a weirdo, right? I'm a weirdo in the sense of when certain things would happen to me, I would use them as motivation, but keep them on my phone, right? Prime example. I have a bunch of voice memos from me in 2012 and 2013 and 2014. Like I literally would record voice memos of how broke I was, of how I was in such a bad situation, record it in a voice memo, right, on my Android or on my iPhone and send it to my old high school email, and I still have it to this day. I saw my mom crying over a bill, right? It was like 11 o'clock at night and she had a robe on and she was crying in her bedroom. We had like a 700, maybe an 800 square foot, apartment on the 3rd floor with like 3 different people, me, my brother, and my mom, and she was crying. And I saw her in the living room and I took a picture of it. And to this day, I don't think she even knows I took the picture. And I saved it on my phone for motivation. She was crying, right? And then she went to work the next day and I saw the bill and it was like $170, right? Something like that. It wasn't $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. It was in the hundreds, the low hundreds. And seeing stuff like that and keeping them on my phone, it made me go to another level, right? Why am I going to party? My situation is not right. I'm not happy where I am, right? You guys, my friends at 18 and 19, you guys may be happy, right? You probably got both parents, right? You probably, have a little bit of money in your bank account. You guys are good, not me, right? And I was always a firm believer that my mom literally woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and didn't get home until like 9 o'clock at night, right? She had to, get up, walk, to the bus station in the snow, which was like 2 miles because the buses didn't run that early in Connecticut, then take the train, then go to work and do the same thing back. It was a lot. I used to see that every day. My dad struggled, right? We were homeless twice. I was living in the car at 7 years old, right? I was blessed to be in these situations because when I got to high school and even 18 years old when I'm an adult, I told myself I'm going to figure out how money works because it's not going to be a crutch in my life no more, right? Started studying day trading, started studying investing, started studying overall like finance as a whole. And I don't regret a single second of it. I have so many Snapchats and Instagram stories of me literally looking at the charts in 2014 and 2015, reading finance books back then because that is what propelled me to get to where I am today. There was absolutely no reason for me to be at every holiday function. For what? It's not a Merry Christmas for me, right? It's just not, right? What am I celebrating the 4th of July for? For what? We were not free, black people. And that's a whole conversation for another day. But these are the things I'm thinking of, right? Why is everybody, all my friends celebrating Cinco de Mayo when all of Mexico don't even celebrate it? It's regional. These are the things I'm thinking about, right? And I'm using those extra days to work, right? Because I know people in my industry back then weren't doing that because I'm watching their stories. well, Instagram stories weren't a thing when I was 17 or 18 years old, but I'm watching them on their Instagram, feeds. I'm, reading their tweets on Twitter, seeing their Facebook posts. And I knew every time somebody celebrated, that's when I separated, right? That's one of the mottos I have. That it may sound cliche or corny, that's literally one of my mottos. Celebrate, because that gives me room to separate myself from you. Christmas, holidays, I literally worked. And I want you guys to understand, like I said, I'm not a believer in hustle culture, but you guys gotta understand, when you are homeless and you are sleeping in a car at 7 years old, and then you're homeless at 13 years old, and you gotta go to 8th grade class, knowing you don't got a place to sleep at night, it makes you get into another level, right? It takes your motivation to another drive. So yeah, since then, I've been working my face off. And yeah, now I'm at a point where I'm good, right? My mom don't gotta cry over bills no more. Why? She's retired. My wife, good. My brother, good. My family, good. I got people from my high school who was partying, looking at me like I was crazy, saying I have no fun, asking me for jobs now. So I want you guys to get in your head, right? And again, this may not work for everybody. I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be some people who are in my comments saying, oh, Swaggy, you're saying I can't have a work-life balance? That's not what I'm saying. This is the Swag Academy's channel. I'm making the video. Somebody asked me what I would do different. Do I regret? No. You see, I was different, right? I knew if I just sacrificed 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, however long it took, I didn't put a time limit on it, but if I just sacrificed until I got to where I wanted to get to, I knew I could live like this for the rest of my life. And I saw the long-term vision, right? If I'm partying every single weekend or I'm celebrating every single holiday, I have nobody to blame but myself, right? There's a quote out there that says, if you are born poor, that is not your fault. If you die poor, that is 100% your fault. And I literally took that to heart. I wouldn't change a single thing. And money is different from others, right? Because growing up how I grew up, now that forces me to want to make sure that money is never a negative catalyst in my life. We completely empty it, and we gotta worry about who our real friends are and other issues. We don't gotta worry about money, right? That was my goal. But for some people who didn't grow up like me, that may not be your goal. So you don't gotta, aspire to be a multi-millionaire, right? 100,000 may be good enough for you. 70,000, but a work-life balance and being able to go to the movies every single weekend may work for you. That's all relative, and that's all okay. My thing is, I was not happy. And I feel like people who are not happy and literally are struggling with their career, with their finances, with their life, I don't think they should be partying. And that is what I took to heart. Why? Because partying is just a crutch. It's a temporary fun, but it does nothing for you, right? It may even bring more problems, right? It may drink the problems away. That's not real, right? It just makes the situation worse. And I knew that. And I still work just as hard now, right? To make sure everything is good for my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids, right? I want generational wealth. When I die, it's bigger than me, right? I studied day trading a lot, like so much. And you guys know that, like I said, I was smart. I always knew I wanted to be in business as well, right? Not just a pure day trader. I wanted to be a day trader plus a businessman, right? In other areas, right? I wanted to be an investor, right? And there's only about, if you're a day trader, there's only about 8 to 12 good day trading books. I'm not talking about investing. I'm not talking about like real estate. I'm talking about pure day trading, right? There's only a few trading in the zones and market wizards. There's only a few of them, right? So I made sure I didn't only study that, but I also studied finance as a whole, right? Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Richest Man in Babylon, 10 Pillars of Wealth, 4-Hour Work Week, 10X Rule, right? Success Principles. There are so many books I've read over and over again, right? I barely listen to music. I would have my phone and probably like maybe 4 times a year, people know I do this, I would delete all the music off of my library and only have motivational music in there, right? Like talks from Jim Rohn, right? And Zig Ziglar and all the best speakers in the world, and just listen to them for 31 days. And then I'd obviously put music back on because I'm human and I need some music, right? And then I'd like 2-3 months later, I do the same thing over and over again. So I'm making sure I'm learning as much information as possible. And when I feel like I'm learning too much information, I gotta like relax and I'm, stressing myself out, I calm down, listen to music, right? And during these situations, I just believed I can be a great businessman. I can be a great trader. I can be a great investor, right? Every single multi-millionaire and billionaire in the world started out like me. There are some who obviously, were trust fund kids, which I don't even put blame to their parents at all. That's what I'm trying to do with my kids, right? Make sure they have money so they don't grow up like how I did. But for a lot of them, they worked. And I always looked at it as, how did they get there? That's why I wanted to read so many books and listen to actual seminars. And how can I get there? I want people to understand that this is not me saying I miss Christmas. You guys gotta understand, I was so broke, there was no Christmas. December 25th was a regular day to me. That's why I emphasize Christmas so much now with my family. And I make sure I do everything there's possible because I didn't have that growing up. But for birthdays, if I knew somebody had a lot planned for me, right, throughout the evening is my birthday, I didn't be like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm taking the day off. No, I still got up at 3 o'clock in the morning and worked from 3 to 11. Why? Nobody else is up. They're all asleep. So I can work without feeling bad that it's my birthday and people, putting pressure on me. Then when it gets to noon or 1 and people want to take me out for brunch, great. I already got 8, 9 hours of work in. And that was my process growing up. And I don't regret a single moment of it. I studied business so much. I've studied, Forex so much. And I think, again, I want to preface this, I'm not a believer in hustle culture. But if you are somebody who aspires to be a multi-millionaire and have a dream that a lot of people don't necessarily have and being part of the 1%, you have to sacrifice a lot. My mentor, E.T., Eric Thomas, had told me, and he said it in the YouTube videos as well, but he also said, what are you gonna do when there's thousands of other people in the world who want the exact same thing you want? You are not the only person in this world who want your dream. You're not the only one. What are you gonna do to have a competitive edge? For me, growing up, that was that. What was my why? My dad dying, my mom struggling, us struggling, being homeless. I encourage you all to figure out your why. I encourage you all to watch this video. I encourage you all to stay motivated. There are going to be people out there who don't like this video and think I'm doing too much and I'm not shaming nobody for how you live your life. I'm talking about what I did. And I would do it all over again if I had to. I'll holler at you guys.